What's going on? Let's do a fantasy football ranking of the 49ers schedule. That is my favorite team. I'm going to try not to be a homer here, but we'll see how that turns out. Um, Going into the season, I'm not 100% sure what to think of the Niners. They lost a ton of players, tons of veterans, bringing in a lot of young guys. The 49ers running back room is a disaster with injuries, although they traded for Brian Robinson Jr. from the Commanders today. I'm excited about that. Only had to give up a 6 round pick. The wide receiver room is brutalized too. So, yeah, with the Niners, if you look at them, I guess I'll start with the receivers. You have Brandon Ayuk. He's out at least until the sixth game of the season. Who knows how long it will take for him to get in football shape. And then Jawan Jennings has a calf injury. He's also wanting more money. I don't think he's going to get it from the Niners. Although I do like what I saw from him last year. It hasn't been enough. So I'm not in support of the Niners paying him at this point. Ricky Pearsall, the second year guy for the Niners, I'm excited about him. I have a feeling he's going to be the number one wideout as the season starts, and then maybe Ayuk will take that over. But I'm hoping Pearsall is just going to have a steep incline in his production and growth this year. And then you got a lot of question marks. The Niners have been signing receivers left and right. Some guys I've heard of, some guys I've never heard of. There's another second year guy, Jacob Callion, I'm interested in to see if he's healthy, what he can do for the Niners. But that's my biggest question mark. So, just from a fantasy standpoint, Brock Purdy, he got his money. So, hopefully, he's going to keep progressing. He does need those weapons. If Christian McCaffrey is healthy and plays all this season, I think he'll be all right. Having that weapon, running the ball, and then out of the backfield, that's huge. And then, right, like I just said, Christian McCaffrey just got Brian Robinson Jr. to back him up, so I'm pleased about that. McCaffrey's a stud if he's healthy, even though he's 28 or 29. Still love that guy. And then the George Kittle over there at tight end, he'll probably be the true number one target. Again, health's going to be critical for him. He wants to run you over, just, punch you right in the mouth. So I love him. He's, fantastic 49er. Probably one of my favorites of all time. If I was going to do a top 10 to 15, Kittle definitely is going to be in it for his playing style. And then across the Niners offensive line, good run blocking. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure what's going to happen. There's a lot of new blood in there. It's going to come down to health again. Niners drafted a ton of rookies, confident, little on the shorter side, but with his athletic ability and that engine, he might be really good. So we'll see what the defense does for the 49ers, but I am optimistic. So let's get into the Niners schedule and how they're going to do, and I'll talk some fantasy options for their opponents. So week one, Niners going up to Seattle to play the Seattle Seahawks, arch rival here. Seahawks have a new coach, new coordinators, Sam Darnold at quarterback, so that's new. I'm going to say that the Niners are going to lose here. They're going to lose 24-16 to the Seahawks. Sam Darnold, he has Kenneth Walker, a beast of a running back if he's healthy, and Zach Charbonnet backing him up. Wide receivers, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp. This team could do well if Sam plays well. And just a division rival, the Niners and Seahawks play each other well. I'm going to give Seattle the edge because they're at home this week. First week, lost to the Niners. In the second week, Niners are going to New Orleans, play the Saints. This is going to be a win. I'm expecting the Niners to smash the Saints with the uncertainty of who their quarterback is, whether it's Rattler or Shook. Kamara's there. He's a beast. Chris Olave, I like him. Shaheed, I like that guy too. Projection is Niners win 27-6. Let's hope Pearsall goes off on this game, especially if I'm able to draft him on some of my fantasy squads, which my first draft is on Sunday. So keep your fingers crossed for me. Week three, Arizona's coming to San Francisco, to Santa Clara, to play the 49ers. I'm taking the Niners 24-17 here. This is another division rival. These teams can play each other tough. Arizona's kind of exciting with their weapons. Kyler Murray there. The question is whether he's putting the time in. Is he studying or is he playing video games? But the Niners have a hard time containing when he takes off and runs. Robert Slaw back there being our defensive coordinator, there should be a spy on Kyler. But you have Marvin Harrison Jr., expecting him to have a big season. Trey McBride at tight end, James Conner at running back, Trey Benson backing him up. So there's some definite weapons over there in Arizona. It should be a fun game, but I'm saying the Niners are going to get their second win right there. With the fourth week, Jacksonville's coming into town. These Jaguars are going to play the 49ers, and there's some uncertainty in Jacksonville. They've made a lot of movement, and especially defensively, I believe. But I do like Trevor Lawrence. I know he hasn't reached his potential yet, but you have Travis Hunter there now with Ryan Thomas Jr. They should be really good receivers. I'll be curious how much Travis Hunter is playing a defensive back, cornerback, and wide receiver. But he seems like he's a unicorn, so kind of like the Shohei Ohtani maybe of the NFL, but that's a little bold to say at this point. But I'm curious to see what he can do. Running back, they have Tank Bigsby, Trevor Etienne, I believe it's Junior, and then another guy they drafted. So I'm curious to see who's going to get the bulk of the carries. It feels like Tank's going to be getting first and second downs, and then maybe Trevor getting the third down carries. But we'll see. But I'm giving this one to the Niners as well. They're going to win 30-13. Confidence the Niners are going to put a beat down representing their home field. In the fifth week, the Niners are back on the road. They're going to Los Angeles to play the Rams. And I'm saying the Niners are going to win this one too, 28-24. The Niners do really well in Los Angeles. Niner fans travel deep. So when you're watching that game, you could just see a sea of red in these stadiums. I don't think the Rams have a home field advantage. Not just yet anyways. But that could be Los Angeles. The Rams have been in different cities, and you kind of isolate your fan base when you do that. If Stafford is out and it's Jimmy Garoppolo, I'll drop the score down even further. I'll say 28-13. Stafford makes a big difference, but their weapons there, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams as their top two wide receivers. And then you have Kyren Williams as that running back. He's a touchdown machine. Like that guy a lot. Powerhouse. And if Stafford's there, yeah, he easily can carve up any defense, but I'm still going to give the edge to the 49ers no matter what happens. In week 6, Niners are on the road to Tampa Bay. This is going to be the Niners' second loss of the season. I'm going to say the score is going to be 31-24 with Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield at quarterback. He's got a ton of weapons, and Mike Evans, Otten at tight end. I'm blanking on his name. Emeka Ekuba. I'm sure I'm just butchering that last name. Wide receiver they drafted this year. And then you have Rashard White as the second running back, and you got Bucky Irving. And like the offensive line in Tampa Bay, their defense, we'll see if their defense can step up. That's just a team that seems to get out and shoot in shootouts. I'm going to give them the edge, though, definitely with the home field advantage to Tampa Bay. In week 7, Atlanta's coming to the Bay, and Atlanta's intriguing. Michael Penix at quarterback for a full season if he's healthy. Bijan Robinson, arguably the best running back fantasy-wise in the NFL. He'll be competing with Saquon Barkley this year for the trophy. And that's my prediction. And then you have Drake London. I'm expecting him to just keep getting better and better. Kyle Pitts, maybe. I'm intrigued by Kyle Pitts since he's been drafted. He's only 24, 25, so he still has some time, even though he's been in the league for, I think, 3 years, maybe 3 or 4 years. Hasn't reached that potential yet. But some good weapons over in Atlanta. Darnell Mooney, wide receiver. I know he's hurt, but if he's back, the defense is really going to have to step up. But I'm expecting Niners will handle business. This will be a close game, 24-21, giving the edge to the Niners. Week 8, Niners are back on the road to play the Houston Texans. So here you got C.J. Stroud. Really like him. I'm expecting really a bounce back season for him. Just building on his rookie year. There was a step back last year. Nico Collins. They drafted some wide receivers too. If Joe Mixon is back, but if he's not, Nick Chubb is there. Damian Pierce. So they have some resources in the running game, so there's some depth there. Dalton Schultz at tight end. Their offensive line, they let some guys go. Got rid of Laramie Tunzel, so I'm curious what the protection is going to be like for Stroud. So I'm confident, but also hoping the Niner pass rush is going to beat him up. However, being in Houston, DeMeco Ryans head coach, former Niner coordinator, defensive coordinator, I'm going to give the edge to Houston in this game, 31-23. Houston hands the 49ers their third loss of the season. Week 9, New York Football Giants. This should be a beatdown. That's what I want it to be. I want the Niners to just whoop the Giants. Prediction, the game will be 34-6. This team is just kind of It's confusing when you have three quarterbacks. You could argue they have four. See Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Tommy DeVito, and then the rookie Jackson Dart, which I think a lot of people are hoping Dart's gonna take over quarterbacking soon. I do want to give the Giants credit. I think their wide receivers are underrated. Once you get past Malik Neighbors, Neighbors is a stud, but you have Darius Slayton, you have Wandale Robinson, I believe his name is, and then you've got quite a few running backs. Not a clear cut number one, but Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary, and Cam Scattaboo. I want to say there's one other guy there too. So they have weapons. It's going to be contingent on their lines. How's the offensive line doing? How's that defensive line doing? But giving the edge to the Niners for a beatdown. Okay, and then here we go where now Los Angeles is going to San Francisco, and the Rams are going to get a revenge here. It's just division rival. You just never know what's going to happen. But I'm going to give the edge to the Rams. Hopefully the Niners aren't beat up injury wise at this point, but they haven't had their bye yet, so it could happen. But this game I'm going to give to the Rams 28-18. They're going to win by 10 points. And then the next week, this is November 16. Niners are on the road going to Arizona to play the second game with the Cardinals this year. This is going to be another loss. So 24-12. This is just going to be a field goal game for the Niners. If Jacob Moody's still the kicker, he's going to kick those 4 field goals this game. But Kyler's going to have the Cardinals humming. He's probably going to run for 50 to 100 yards. I know that's a big gap, but Kyler can do that. The Niners aren't making the appropriate adjustments. So, yeah, 2 losses in a row for the 49ers. In week 12, Niners bouncing back against Carolina. Back in the Bay, Niners are going to be humming. Offense is just strolling 34-21. 49ers beat the Panthers. Bryce Young over there in Carolina, I'm expecting he's going to have another year of progression. T. McMillan, the kid they drafted, really intrigued to see what he does. Adam Thielen's still there. He's an older guy. Chuba Hubbard, running back, really good. They have Rico Dowdle, too, from the Cowboys. Most likely going to get the third down reps because Chuba's not great at catching the ball. And then, I'm not so certain their defense has things figured out, even though they've had some additions to their defense. I just think the 49ers are going to want some revenge after losing 2 games. They're going to come in hungry, and they're going to put a little offensive thumping down on the Panthers. Week 13, going to Cleveland. Roll the dice. Who's going to be quarterbacking them at this point? They probably have gone through all 4 of their quarterbacks by now, and so in week 13, Niners will be facing off against Shedeur Sanders. Said it here first. But that's not going to be the answer for Cleveland. Niners win 21-9. It's tough to draft the Cleveland Browns players because I really like David Njoku, the tight end. Looking at his past seasons, it kind of really hasn't mattered who his quarterback has been, so maybe that'll be a good thing for Njoku to keep rolling. Jerry Jeudy's over there, Cedric Tillman, the other wide receiver, and then at running back, that's hard to say too. You've Jerome Ford, who's been there, more of a pass catching back, and then you have a couple rookies, Sampson or Simpson. It's one of the two, and Judkins, but we don't know what's going to go on with Judkins. We're expecting that he's going to get suspended. But Judkins is a powerful guy. I'm expecting Cleveland's going to try to run the ball as much as possible, rely on their solid defense of Myles Garrett. However, not enough to stop the Niners. They're taking this one 21-9. And then the Niners have a bye week. Let's get healthy, get back out there, be fresh to have Tennessee Titans coming to town the following week. And this is going to be another beatdown. Niners offense cruises again, 31-13. Whoops on the Titans. Cam Ward at quarterback. He's progressing through the year. But the Niners defense offense is no match. And I do like the Titans in terms of what they're doing. I think Cam Ward was an excellent pick. You have Tony Pollard there at running back if he's healthy. That guy produces. Just give him the ball. They have Spears. I'll say change of pace, even though I think there's similarities between those guys. So you have some options there. I do like their tight end. I think his first name is Chig. I'm great at pronouncing his last name, but that guy's athletic and exciting. Calvin Ridley at wide receiver. He's dynamic. I think he can produce with any quarterback. So we'll see. Tight ends. Titans, not tight ends. Not expecting big things from them. So Niners should put a whooping down. Week 16, going to Indianapolis to play the Colts. We just learned Daniel Jones is going to be the quarterback to start the year. I think the offense is going to be a little bit more consistent with Daniel Jones. However, if I was the Colts brass, I would have gone with Anthony Richardson. Let him get the reps. They're not a Super Bowl team this year, so see what Anthony can do. He's athletic. He needs to learn somehow, and probably being out there against competition is the best way. However, I'm going to say this is a close game, 24-23. Niners take this one. Let's say they get a field goal at the end of the game to take the lead. So you got Jonathan Taylor there, absolute stud. He just needs to stay healthy. Ty Warren, the rookie, I like this guy at tight end. He's someone that I've been looking to draft in my leagues. And then you have Michael Pittman. I really like Michael Pittman. I think he's underrated. He's a possession type receiver, but his quarterback has been inconsistent, so his numbers have dropped. I think with Daniel Jones, Michael Pittman could be getting 6 to 10 catches a game. If that guy stays healthy. You've Josh Downs over there. Alec Burks, I think, is the other, or Alec Pierce, another receiver there. So the Colts have some weapons. Their quarterback room, I just don't think it's the best move long term to have Daniel Jones there, although the offense may be more consistent at the beginning of the year. By this time in the season, though, week 16, I think it's going to be Anthony. And then week 17, Chicago Bears coming to town. This is going to be just a shootout. I'm going 49ers 31-28. Caleb Williams at quarterback for the Bears. Rome Odunze. I'm expecting Rome to have a big season. He's got a guy that I'm drafting quite a bit as my second wide receiver. Sometimes it's my third if I get fortunate enough. You got DJ Moore there. He's going, he's their number one, at least on paper. I do like him. I don't think he's super flashy, but that's okay. He's consistent. And then you got two tight ends, the rookie Loveland and then Cade Otton. So they're two tight end sets. I'm expecting we should see quite a bit of that, which would be smart on their part. DeAndre Swift at running back, Johnson, change of pace to DeAndre. They got quite a bit of weapons at Chicago. I'm curious what Ben Johnson, the former OC of the Lions, can do with that team. But I'm going Niners 31-28. And the last game of the season, the Niners are on their 5-game win streak. They're going to get their 6th win against Seattle. Seattle's coming into town. They open the season against Seattle with a loss, but they're going to finish the game against Seattle in the Bay with a win, 27-16. Niners close the season and have momentum going into the playoffs. Niners final record 12-5. So after this exercise, I'm going to be bold and probably a homer and say the Niners are going to win their division and then carry this momentum into the playoffs. All right, y'all. Good luck drafting. And I got a couple drafts coming up, so I'm really looking forward to my teams. I'll do a review once I get my teams drafted and get that up there on YouTube.